Soviet Union is bent on expanding. They wish to spread their communist ideals all throughout the world. At its core, communism is the belief that private property should be replaced by community ownership. This directly conflicts with our American system of capitalism. The United States would have been content letting the Soviet Union continue their lifestyle at home, but once they began imposing their ideas on other nations, we have made a decision to intervene. If the Soviet policy is expansion, then our policy is that of containment. Containment is simply the prevention and the spread of Soviet communism. The fact of it is that communism is a threat to our American way of life. Our commitment to containment is strong, and we will continue to resist the spread of communism as long as it is seen as a threat to the Western way of life. And though Soviet Union ceased our shipments to our allies in the West Germany, we as always come through as a nation, and we were able to provide enough supplies to our allies before the Soviet blockade was formed. Our supplies provided substantial resources for our allies in West Germany, as well as for our allies deep within Berlin. But the Soviets had blocked all our supplies, but they were unable to block the end result. The communist North Korea invaded South Korea. In order to protect the democracy and free peoples of South Korea, we defended their territories until communist China aided the North. We used our military to contain the impending threat of communism. By the end of the war, we returned the North and South Korean borders to where they previously were. We contained the communist threat as well as we did in the case of Soviet Russia. In 1959, Cuba was under the control of communist Fidel Castro, who allied with the Soviets. 2 years later, the Soviets snuck atomic weapons into Cuba, in range of the White House, Mexico City, Panama, and many other cities. To isolate the threat of nuclear war with Russia, we quarantined Cuba and successfully contained the threat, as well as preventing Soviets from gaining any power. The communist plans were thwarted. The USSR removed their missiles, and the threat had disappeared. Our actions in all these cases were swift and effective in controlling the communist spread of ideals. During these tough times, we encourage you to stay strong and persevere through the altercations of war. This is our war to win, just like any other war. Our goal is to stop the spread of communism and contain the spread that has reached other nations. With the installment of the Truman Doctrine and the Marshall Plan, we as a nation will be able to prevail and put a C on the spread of communism. This will be easily contained. The Soviet attack is an expansion, and our defense is containment. With one of the strongest militaries on the planet, we will put an end to these communist expansions and prevail as a nation. We are here as one. Thank you.